I had myself another long day today. Of course, I worked the second day of my new job. Next week is going to be a much fuller week. Um, After I got off work today, I went to a birthday party for a friend of mine. So, this new job is working at a car wash. Not a lot of money, but it'll pay my bills, including child support and so on. Um, but one little issue that I'm dealing with here. Let's see if I can get my phone to do its job. Yeah, it's not a pleasant look. For those of you who are squeamish, I probably should have warned you ahead of time. So, that's actually not from the water at car wash, because my boots are waterproof. That's from sweat, because my boots are waterproof. Yeah, so waterproof boots don't breathe. But doing this job, I have to wear waterproof boots, because as bad as that was, they'd be a whole lot worse if I didn't have those boots like that. I had contemplated getting different boots for work, boots that would breathe, which would mean that they might also drain the water off, but I really don't think it's going to work that way. So, whatever. Tomorrow I'm going to go donate some more plasma. Hopefully get enough money to actually get some stuff done. Monday I have to talk with my manager. Give my manager the information necessary to do the auto draft. I guess that's what it is. Oh, sorry. The auto draft, I think it is, for child support, because that's how it's done here in Texas, or at least in my case. My manager tells the office of the Attorney General where I'm working, gives them the relevant information, and then they automatically take $390 out of my paycheck plus another $50 every month. So, they take it out in increments. However often I get paid is how much they have to take out. In the end, it has to equal a total of $440 a month. That's just to stay out of jail. Which actually, the first thing they do is take your license. Because, if you don't have a license, you can make more money and pay child support. And then, of course, when you can't do your job because you don't have a license, well, then they hold you in contempt of court for not paying child support because you don't have money, because you can't work because you don't have a license, and then they throw you in jail, because that pays child support even more, throwing you in jail, because somehow you're able to work for money in jail. Obviously, I'm being facetious. That's a part of the system that is just broken. Okay, they're thinking more about the punishment than they are about finding a solution. Because taking a person's license away for not paying child support, while it is a powerful punishment, it's hardly going to improve the situation. A person who can't drive can't work. A person who can't work can't pay child support. That's the wrong direction. But what do I know? I'm only the person that's going to have to deal with that if it happens. Anyway, I was actually going somewhere with that. I forgot what it was. Anyway, so it's Monday. I got to talk to my manager and get all that straightened out, so the government can start taking money out and giving it to my wife for, well, I'm not even going to get into that. Another thing is, started noticing a rattling sound coming from my bike's engine on the right side. I ride a Honda. I love Hondas. Oddly enough, they're tough. They're just really tough. August 6th, I want to say it's August 6th, marks 4 years that I've been riding this bike. It had 0 miles when I got it in 20, and now it's at 40, almost 49,000 miles, or I think it might be 49,000 now. So yeah, I ride a lot. It's actually my primary mode of transportation. If I lost that bike, I wouldn't be able to work. Yes, I have that truck, but it's not legal. If I tried to take it on the road, I'd get stopped for sure, especially without windshield wipers, which I'm going to need this coming week. It's going to be raining all 4 days that I'm working. And I don't want to start one of those shifts soaking wet. Anyway, so I was trying to figure out what that rattle was, and it turns out to be one of the drive gears between the primary drive gear and the clutch drive gear, which on these Hondas, or at least on the Shadows, you have the primary, which is the gear that's on the crankshaft, and then you have an idle gear, and then you have a gear on the clutch basket. Okay, and then of course that shaft that it's attached to goes into the transmission, and that's how the transmission is driven. So the idle gear in the middle is what I suspect is rattling, and it's because I have not been keeping up with my oil. So it's low on oil. It doesn't even show up on the dipstick. These engines are tough. So tomorrow I gotta make sure I get that. I thought I had some oil. Don't have some oil. Gotta buy some oil. I think I have enough now to justify going ahead and just changing the oil. It'll be better for the engine if I do that, and I'm around about 5,000 miles on this oil anyway, so it's probably time to change it regardless. These Honda engines, the Japanese metrics, where the engine and transmission and primary, where the clutch and all that is, well, they share oil. They have to use a special oil designed for wet clutches. It's the same oil that you'd put in a Harley primary. With the Harleys, you have 3 different oils. You have engine oil, primary oil, and transmission oil. Anyway, with these metrics where they share oil between the primary, engine, and transmission, you have to have special oil designed for wet clutch. Now I've forgotten where I was going with that. Give me a second. Oh yeah, that's right. You get you get conventional oil, which for these bikes, conventional oil is actually semi-synthetic. They don't do just conventional oil anymore. You have semi-synthetic or you have full synthetic. The semi-synthetic, you get about 3,000 miles out of it, which sounds normal, which it really is. You go full synthetic, you get about 5,000 miles. Now, to put this into perspective, your car, for those of you who don't ride motorcycles, your car, if you put full synthetic in it, you'd get anywhere between 8,000 and 10,000 miles out of that oil. But these bikes are really hard on oil, especially with their wet clutches. So you get about 5,000 miles. I've taken it past 5,000 before, and it wasn't good. You could tell the difference. Not only was it losing power, it was also losing oil faster because the oil was too broken down to do anything. And yes, the thinner the oil gets, the easier it leaks. So, yeah, I should be changing the oil every 3,000 miles, but in a pinch, I can take it to 5,000 without damaging the engine. So, that's probably what I'm going to end up doing tomorrow, on top of all the other stuff I got to do, because I got to buy a windshield wiper motor for my truck, so I can have windshield wipers, because, well, I got to go to work, and it's going to be raining. So, I'll work that out. And hopefully it does work out. Anyway, this is my update for the day. I've got a long week ahead of me starting tomorrow. Even though, yes, tomorrow is Saturday, I got a long week ahead of me. So, for those of you who don't know, before I get off of here, I'm actually writing a book. I'm not going to say the name because I'm actually writing it under a pen name, and I'd like to keep that a secret for now. So, I'm almost done with it. Chapter 23 is going to be the last chapter, and it's an epic. By the numbers, it's an epic, and I'm actually extremely satisfied with that because I'm not even done with chapter 23, and the book is sitting at a little over 122,000 words. Which, if I remember right, an epic is somewhere between 120,000 and, up. To put it in perspective, the Two Towers, Lord of the Rings Two Towers, if I remember right, was about 150,000. I think that was the one. That might have been The Hobbit. Either way, one of those books was like 150,000 words, and you could tell. A standard novel is usually between 90 and 120,000. Or was it 80 and 120,000? Anyway, a novella. Well, I wouldn't not get into that. It's not a big deal. I've got a couple of novellas I want to do too. Anyway, so long week ahead of me, starting at the end of this week. Hopefully, I get to see my kids soon. Supervised visitation makes it very hard. A lot of things going into that I am bound by court order to not say, even though it is true, just because it will make her look bad. But hopefully I get to see my kids soon. $55 an hour. Anyway, everybody have a good night, and always try to find ways to be better.